Are you sure you didn't do it, Night Strike?
No, it's Wesley's fault.
I mean, that is a possible answer. I mean, we don't know that. We don't know that. But greetings and salutations, everybody. Today we will be talking about all things Star Wars, mostly Andor, our predictions for the Acolyte and season 3 of The Mandalorian. And also, a little curveball for today. I'm going to try to predict what Night Strike might possibly be job-wise in the Star Wars universe and vice versa.
Mm.
So, and then we'll
You
compare
won't,
to what
you won't figure
we
it
would
out.
actually think each of our jobs would be. So, that's going to be a good debate. Or will it be?
Don't know. You know what I
Won't
do
know until
know?
we hit that. That there is an awesome website we can go for all of our gun-friendly items and
No.
videos.
That this sandwich is damn good.
Okay, that's fair, but
Mm.
way to miss the segue there, Night Strike.
No segue. No
Okay,
segue tonight.
okay, we won't do the segue today. All right, but so how good is that sandwich?
It's delicious.
Nice.
I'm sorry, I haven't had lunch yet. This is my lunch.
Well, today I had Raising Cane's chicken for
Oh, you
lunch
bastard.
after the first time I ever sat down in a Raising Cane's and tried their chicken strips, which
Oh,
were surprisingly delicious,
they are. They are indeed.
juicy and tender.
Yep. So,
And they have an amazing lemonade. Viewers, if you have
not,
a Raising Cane's near you, go. Eat it. It is delicious.
not too big a fan of lemonade. Used to as a kid, not anymore.
Night Strike, show me on the stall where the lemonade harmed you. I am trying my best not to laugh at that, but
All
I
right.
am.
I'm gonna quote Cave Johnson here for a second. I don't want these lemons. What the hell am I supposed to do with these lemons? Yeah.
Uh,
Demand to see Life's manager. Okay, that's about all that Cave Johnson ran I got. And if you don't know where that's from Portal 2. The recordings
see,
of Cave Johnson, the starter of Aperture Science. Founder.
Fair enough, fair enough. So, Night Strike, have you watched any of Andor?
The first episode.
And what did you think?
Slow.
That it is. It does have a very, very big, slow build up. But when we do have action scenes, they're absolutely amazing. I can't, because that means you have not finished the season, so I can't really spoil much at
Go
all
ahead.
for
I'm gonna
you.
watch it anyways.
Well, let's just say the whole heist is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
There's then you think, oh, hey, heist is done. Nope. Uh, he ends up running into a prison that well, let's just say you don't want to be in because if you riot, they're gonna flood you. And it ends on a very weird note for the season finale, but interestingly enough, I enjoyed this season because we're getting to see how things work at the ISB. Um, how
Kind of reminds me of the Spice Mines at Castle.
surprisingly nobody mentioned it. We did get to see how what is the new Disney canon version of the corporate sector runs, and how big of a fuck up that happens in one of the episodes that leads to many bad things.
Mm-hmm.
And the cool thing is, is we get to see regular, like, everyday Imperial Army soldiers instead of stormtroopers everywhere, which is kind of refreshing. I hate to say it, but it's refreshing. Very refreshing to be exact, because
You saw that in Solo, the regular
yes,
Imperial Army.
then we did also get to see some stormtroopers in that, but not many. But it is kind of nice to see something other than the stormtroopers, which,
Well,
depending on who you ask, are part of the Imperial Army, but are kind of not. Because let's face it, the stormtroopers are kind of like, oh, I hate to draw this analogy, but I think George Lucas said it first, was similar to the German stormtroopers. Oh,
wait,
Baron's here. Let me get him in.
How's it
Guten
going?
Tag, Baron.
Guten Tag. Anyways,
Thank you for the invite.
Baron, we're talking about Star Wars. You know anything about Star Wars?
Yeah, it's those two movies from the 70s and early 80s, right?
3 movies, but yes.
And then another 3 from the late 90s, early 2000s.
Hmm.
We're not even going to talk about the
Well, that
3 latest ones. Yeah.
Phantom Menace one, I will accept it. I will accept the prequels only if we can discount the sequels. And I mean, like, you know, what the last 3.
I mean, I did enjoy going and sitting in the movie theater watching the last 3, but they dropped the ball with them.
Yeah, they did.
As Star Wars fans, we can all admit Star Trek is better.
Did those
Baron,
3 movies? Yes.
Yeah. Baron, have you seen all of Andor yet?
No, I have not. No, I didn't
Oh,
watch that.
Yeah.
Andor, all right, yeah, it's actually really,
Baron, have
really
you
good.
seen Rogue One?
Yeah.
Okay. Andor is like a prequel to Rogue One.
hmm I saw the first episode.
So did I. It was really slow.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but after that, you get a little, well, it's kind of supposed to meant to be like a spy thriller kind of set in the Star Wars universe.
Well,
With
I
a little bit of
remembered that I didn't like the character, and he's dead anyway. So then I stopped watching the show.
Well, for me, I like it because of just seeing like how things are in the Empire, We're getting that look. We're seeing how things are done at the ISB and the corporate sectors. It's kind of nice not to have, oh, stormtroopers, oh, Sith Lords here. I mean, between Obi-Wan and Andor, I kind of like Andor more.
Well, the thing about Obi-Wan is, okay, even the original canon before Disney took over, there was something called the Inquisitorius. Okay, there were Inquisitors. Hell of a lot of Inquisitors. They were the remnants of the Jedi that turned to the dark side and sworn allegiance to the Emperor and by proxy Vader. And the thing about them is, yeah, some of them did like to tie in some of the video games. Okay, there's the games called Dark Forces and Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight. And in Jedi Knight, basically, one of the Inquisitors, by the name of Jarek, okay, he was interesting because he went to explore the unknown regions before the Clone Wars started, and then he came back, found out that the Clone Wars had started and ended. The Jedi lost, and there was only an Empire left. And since he was the leader of this expedition, and he came back successfully, he apparently talked to the Emperor and turned to the dark side because he was already teetering on the edge, anyways.
If I remember right, isn't he in the one mod we always play for Empire at War? He's aligned with the, I think, Pentastar alignment.
Jarek, no.
No.
Ooh, do you guys play Empire War?
Yeah, we
We-
actually
We
play it
play
a
Empire
lot.
War. We play Thrawn's Revenge a lot.
Such a
We
good
should
mod.
stream that sometime. I got a copy.
We do. If you want
Ooh.
to jump in and play a game, we can play a game.
I mean, we can always play a game after the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
And anyway, as I was getting this, all the Inquisitors were either dark Jedi that turned to the dark side, or were tortured and turned to the dark side. That's how kind of the Inquisitorians did things by torturing people, or they were citizens, military personnel that were inducted by the Emperor and taught in the ways of the dark side. It's really interesting. Granted, Disney has redone that a little bit, saying that they're under Vader now instead of just the Emperor directly, because originally they were under the Emperor directly, and Vader was just kind of there, did his own thing. But now they made him basically be the de facto head of the Inquisitores.
which kind of makes sense, but hey, who knows?
I
That
think it would piss him off anyways, because they're Jedi that turn to the dark side, and they're not really Sith.
true. But also, if I remember right, reading somewhere, the Emperor's Shadow Guard were also force-sensitive Red Guardsmen.
Well, they weren't Red Guardsmen; they're the Shadow Guard.
Yeah,
the Shadow Guard had rudimentary teachings of the Force. Like they could do simple stuff. They weren't as fully trained as like a Jedi or a dark Jedi
or the Inquisitors
or an Inquisitor.
But they had enough that they could be
They
dangerous.
also didn't use lightsabers.
No, they used that awesome lightsaber pike.
And then basically the Royal Guard. Okay, the Royal Guard. If you watched or if you've heard of Crimson Empire, okay, that's a expanded universe stuff. It's basically what they said how the way to become a Royal Guardsman was basically you had to be the best of the Imperial Army or the Stormtrooper units. Okay, only the best of either of those areas were ever inducted into the Royal Guards. And even before they went and became Royal Guards, they had to go to the Royal Guard Academy first.
Which a lot of people died at.
About half the trainees, and this is the actual number. Half the trainees at the academy died as a direct result. Why? Because the final exam was you had to fight Lord Vader.
Okay, I'm not picking that for our little discussion after we talk about these shows. Nope. Where's my notepad? I gotta go scratch that off. So
you don't want to be part of the Royal Guard or the Inquisitorius. I'll tell you that right now.
Or the Shadow Guard.
Well, the Shadow Guard, whether it's canon or not, they're teetering on that one.
Very teetering. So, have either of you watched any of the Tales of the Jedi yet?
No.
What's this? Is that the animated thing?
Yeah, it's kind of like
a prequel like Clone Wars or whatnot, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's like little individual, I think, like unique stories to certain characters. Like, I think there's 2 or 3 that follow Dooku when he was a Jedi. Like one talking about how Plo Koon, however you say his name, found Ahsoka. I mean, I watched one episode. It's interesting. I'll probably watch the rest over my 4-day weekend from the factory because, we're going into Thanksgiving week.
Honestly, what I want to know is, have you watched Star Wars Rebels?
Who hasn't?
Okay.
Me.
Oh, okay. Star Wars Rebels is CGI like Clone Wars, but it was set in the Galactic Civil War era, where right before the rebellion basically started the Alliance.
So I've seen it as far as I've walked in and out of rooms while it's on, but I never sat down and watched it.
You honestly, if you like old school Star Wars, you would like, even if it's CGI, you would actually like, Rebels, because it's got a lot of iconic characters in there. Like, you see, I don't know, I don't know if Han Solo was in there, but Princess Leia was in there. They had Lando Calrissian, because it's Lando. Uh, you saw Tarkin in there, and Grand Admiral Thrawn. That's when they made Thrawn canon again.
Hmm.
Thankfully.
And then they
And
released two Thrawn books and whatnot, and redid his entire background. But again, it's Grand Admiral Thrawn. I mean, he's one hell of a badass.
and Rebels gave us the TIE Defender into canon.
Yes, they did. They did. So,
Like, I have
but
a theory that all these animated ones are
and
like,
you know what else
they-
Rebels made canon again? The Nograi. You know,
What is
the
that?
one. It was a gray alien species that basically Thrawn had as his entourage slash security forces. It was basically his bodyguards.
yeah, they were known as being very loyal bodyguards and assassins, if I remember right.
Yep.
Because in the Legends canon, which is the whole extended universe,
Mhm.
they were Thrawn sent them to kill the Solo twins when they were born, if I
And
remember right.
And they refused. You know why?
Mhm.
Because originally the Nograi revered Lord Vader as their savior. Okay, and when they and the thing is, the Nograi, they have very heightened senses. So, think of like dogs. Okay, they have their noses are almost as sensitive, or even more sensitive than a dog's nose is. So when they went after the Solo twins, they could tell that they were relatives of Vader, and they're like, "No, we will not do this." Because they could, because apparently what it was explained is they had a similar scent as Lord Vader had.
I wonder how that works.
They can tell. Apparently, they could tell which humans were offspring of which humans.
They have a scent of like
just by
burnt barbecue.
Scent. I guess. Guess they like to barbecue a lot.
I mean, hey, who am I to judge? But yeah, from the
all I can tell you, firefighter, is that I don't care how good Kenobi was, he did not have the high ground then.
No, he did not. No, through the whole Kenobi series, he did not have the high ground.
And I saw a funny meme the other day where it's Vader from Obi-Wan saying, "I am what you made me," and Kenobi says in the meme, "I'm pretty sure I made you a lot shorter." Because he cut his leg off and his arm.
His good arm.
His good arm and his leg, yeah. I'm pretty sure I made you a lot shorter.
But we gotta admit, those whole cybernetic limbs and all that in Star Wars are pretty damn cool.
Another good meme I saw was where it's a guy saying, "I like Yoda's best battle," and it shows Yoda fighting Dooku, and he's like, "No, I said his best battle," and it shows Yoda fighting the Emperor, and he's like, and then it shows Yoda using the Gimmer stick on R2-D2, and it says perfection.
There you go.
Yep. Oh, did you hear that supposedly for the Ahsoka live action show, I think it's Mads Mikkelsen is going to be playing Thrawn? Because if I remember right, he voiced him in Rebels. And they did just recently release the cast announcement for Acolyte. Let's see.
He's a little older to play Thrawn, Lars Mikkelsen. I
But
mean,
how old is Thrawn in the show?
this is true. I always thought the guy who played what is it, Doctor Strange would have been a good Thrawn.
Oh,
Cumberbatch.
Cumberbatch, yeah.
yeah. Let's see.
Oh,
Who did
you
they
mean
announce?
Mads Mikkelsen?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mads Mikkelsen.
That's
yeah.
Lars's brother.
Yeah. I mean,
Lars
he
is
did
the
a
one
good
that
job.
voices Thrawn. Okay, Lars Mikkelsen, but his brother
mean-
Mads is the one you said they were gonna make Thrawn.
I think so. I'm fact checking right now. Let's see.
That'd be funny, wouldn't it? You voice a character, and they're going to do a live action. They're like, you know what? We're going to hire your brother.
We're
Fuck
gonna
you.
hire your brother, but we still want you to do the voice.
Okay, so we have, of course, Hayden Christensen's going to return as Vader. Sabine Wren is going to be played by someone called Natasha Brodezio. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Then we have Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka.
Not a big fan, but I'll deal.
Then Ezra Bridger's being played by, I'm probably butchering
Wait,
his name.
wait. Are we finally gonna find out what happened to Bridger?
Apparently, and the person that they got cast to play live action Ezra does have a passing resemblance to him.
Okay, so what is this, a Thrawn series?
Well, it's the Ahsoka miniseries. They have all cast and crew. That's what I want to see.
They do a Terminator Dark Fate, and they kill him off 5 minutes in.
Okay,
Who knows?
that would piss me off.
It's Disney. I mean, what are you
Well,
going to expect?
No, Disney does things a lot better than that.
Okay.
They at least wait a movie or two before they kill someone off.
They're going to have Ezra twerking in the 5th episode.
Oh, let's hope not.
Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. Why you gotta put that in my head?
Because, I mean, these two shows, I don't know what, let's see, it doesn't say when it's coming out sometime next year, but I have some hopes for it. I don't wanna, get my hopes up, but hey, who knows? We might get to see some cool stuff we've never seen in Star Wars before. Because if I'm right, they're going to be heading off into the unknown regions. Trying to find Ezra. But yeah, it does not show on the IMDb page if the rumor about who's playing Thrawn's true. Just shows someone named Ray Stevenson with no role accredited. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, no role credited yet. Ivana Shanko?
Ivana Sokno.
Yeah, she doesn't have a role. And then
She's
Eman
Ukrainian.
I'm probably butchering the guy who's playing Ezra. Eman Esfan.
I've seen him, and I don't think he's really a good fit.
I mean, he does have a resemblance. A passing resemblance, but, I mean, that, and then also sometime next year, I think we're supposed to be getting The Acolyte.
Mm.
And they just announced the cast for that, but not who they're playing. And they said it's going to be set in the final years of the High Republic era. So who knows how many years before the movies that is.
So when is it supposed to take place? Because it's got Darth Vader in it.
Yeah, so Ahsoka might be taking place either during the rebellion,
during
or
Rebels,
after.
during Rebels and after Rebels, because you watch the end of Rebels, Ahsoka Tano and what's
Spoilers
her name?
alert.
Ahsoka Tano and what's her name? The Mandalorian chick.
Sabine.
Sabine Wren go and they're looking at the mural that Sabine painted of their rebel cell, and they decide they're going to go out and find Ezra because they lost Ezra early on in the war because he took out Thrawn. And if you watch The Mandalorian at one point, you would see that one of Thrawn's lieutenants has become semi-governor of a planet, and Ahsoka and the Mandalorian took her out.
Yeah, because all the droids had this Imperial 7th Fleet patch painted on the side of their head.
Which she was one of Thrawn's lieutenants, which would lead everyone to believe that she knows where Thrawn is, that she was still getting her orders from Thrawn. That's what that was saying. Even if the Empire had broken up and some of it has become, some of the Empire is still around and it's still splintered. I mean, you got, I hate to use this, but you got your First Order fanatics.
Which are off in the unknown regions by this point.
Well, they're not in the unknown regions. The First Order or the Last Order or whatever they're called. They're doing their thing on the Outer Rim. Okay, that's where they are during the fall of the Empire. They haven't solidified and become the main faction of the remnant Imperial forces, and just taken over everything. They haven't done that yet. I would still argue that even in the last three movies, the bad ones, I would argue that just because they've solidified and become one of the larger Imperial forces, that there are still remnant Imperial forces and rogue Imperial factions just doing their own thing in other parts of space, and they just leave the First Order alone.
Probable theory. Because who says that they ain't doing the whole Imperial warlords faction like what we had in the old canon? Which would be interesting to see if that is what Dave Filoni's trying to do behind Kathleen Kennedy's back. Because
here's the thing, I've read a lot of Star Wars. Okay, I've played a lot of the video games. I've gotten really deep into the whole expanded universe thing. Some of it being retconned, some of it being brought back into canon. And the thing is that I still believe that while the First Order was one of the larger Imperial factions that were splintered off from the Empire, I still believe that the other Imperials that were part of the Empire in various other sectors of space, they had their own faction. Because you have to look at it objectively within any government, any large government, even corporations. You have factions or groups of people on one side, on the other, out in the middle, and way out in left field. You'll always have those type of groups, whether it's just a small group of people, a large group of people, whether it's an actual faction of people, you don't know. But that happens in every government. It happens in corporations, and I would argue that it would also happen in the Star Wars universe too, because the Empire was held together by Palpatine and his ability to use the Force and make everyone focus towards one task when he wasn't being bothered by everything else. And if you look at some of the expanded universe from before Disney retconned it, like the original Thrawn trilogy, you would see that he got a Dark Jedi that was a clone of a Jedi that Palpatine had made on Wayland. He found him there, and he used him to get all the Imperial forces to focus on the task at hand, so Thrawn could literally steamroll the New Republic and take some Imperial sectors back that were taken from the rebels. And that's why Thrawn was such a problem, because he used that guy to make everybody focus. But he also used Salamiri, which you saw in the Rebels, that he still had those too, that basically created a force bubble. So that guy can make everybody do what he wants as far as focusing everyone on one task, but he couldn't use it to attack Thrawn.
Yeah, because they didn't those little space lizard thingamabobs like created negative space where the force could not be used.
They create a bubble where where there's an absence of the force,
Ooh,
so you
ooh.
cannot use the force in that bubble.
So basically creates a force wound.
Not a force wound, but just it's like being on Earth, no force powers whatsoever.
Yeah.
What if I have really high midichlorian count?
Even if you do, I will tell you that's bullshit. Midi-chlorians was just something made up to make people feel better.
My blood is strong. What are you talking about?
And all I'm going to tell you is those aren't midi-chlorians. Your blood, your white blood cells are just the count is just way up. Your white blood cells are just way up. You need to get those numbers down. And yes, it's a joke. Anyways, but I know we're going really deep into Star Wars, and I'm sorry. It's just I like Star Wars.
I mean, that is what we are talking about today because I'm pulled up the little official description for the Acolyte. It says it's a mystery thriller that will take viewers into the galaxy of shadowy secrets, emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era, where a former Padawan reunites with their master to investigate a series of crimes.
And
but the forces they confront are more sinister than they ever anticipated.
And the High Republic basically takes place like 350 years to 50 years before the Clone Wars.
Yeah, so this is at the end of it. So we're looking at so it's right before it goes to the High Republic to the, era we know.
Ooh, I'm sorry, Candace. I'm sorry. I did not know that. You may want to take some antibiotics for that. That's no way no.
I don't know if antibiotics would work on that.
I think it does. Yeah, I think they have antibiotics for that.
I mean, well, I'm not gonna say it. I might get my first ever warning from YouTube if I did. But hey,
You want me to say it for you?
Yeah, I thought I had high midi-chlorians. It just turned out I had an iron deficiency.
No, cowgirl Candace just said what I was about to say. So yeah.
I thought
that is true.
ivermectin is what they gave people for what they were trying to get people to use for COVID.
Yeah, but but then again, backed us for everything.
Yeah, Star Wars is backed it, but before for a certain era, they used colto instead.
Yeah,
they used colto,
which then became
and then they
very ineffective once Bacta was discovered.
Yeah, they didn't use colto as much after Bacta was discovered. Don't mix the I and the C word. You'll get the chat nuked. No, in passing fashion, we were commenting on what people were trying to get people to use. I don't care. Use whatever a doctor tells you to. That's the thing right there.
Or your local med droid.
Your local doctor. Just use what he says.
Or she says. Or
we're
it
good.
says.
We're good.
Never trust a female doctor.
Well, it depends. It depends. Is she good looking or is she bad looking?
I mean, would you trust a male nurse?
No.
That's the point. Anyways.
All right.
So where were we?
Season 3 of Mando is coming up.
Yes,
in 3 months. And who here thinks that Din's gonna have to kick Bo's ass?
I think he is. He's gonna have to fight her because she's gonna want the dark saber back because her family, yada 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 yada. Or technically, your sister had it, she had it, and she lost it, yada yada yada. and then Mandalore got owned again, yada yada yada. And when I
Well,
say
there's-
owned, I say they got they're at the butts whooped.
Yeah,
And-
because we did see that in the trailer where the capital city is like in ruins. But you forgot
Yeah.
something. Sabine won the Darksaber in combat from Gar Saxon. So
Mhm.
technically, Sabine was the rightful Mandalore. She's like, no, I'm not fit to roll. Here, Bo, have the Darksaber. She didn't win it in combat, which I believe led to the event of the Night of 1,000 Tears or whatever they called it.
Well, you also need to realize that Sabine's of clan Sabine is technically a descendant of the original owner of the Darksaber.
Yeah, technically,
because she
House
comes
Wren of Clan Vizsla.
she because was it Tar Vizsla or something like that?
Mm-hmm. Pre-Vizsla.
He previously, yeah, he created the Darksaber because
No, that was Tar. Pre-Vizsla had it at the start of the Clone
Yeah.
Wars.
Tar Vizsla created the Darksaber, and because Sabine Wren is of House Vizsla or Clan Vizsla, or I don't understand how the clan and houses work, honestly. But because she's of that same clan, that means she's a descendant.
Well, the way it used to work with the Mandalorians, back when Karen Travis was writing the Republic Commando books, and she kind of helped add on to a lot of the Mandalorian culture in the old canon, each family was its own clan. So you had like Clan Vow, you had Clan Fett, who Clan Fett originated from Concord Dawn, which is the moon of Mandalore. And then you had Clan Shakira, so on and so forth. But in the new Disney canon, you have the houses, which is House Vizsla, which is one of the oldest surviving and biggest clans. And then you had the little associated clans that, through marriages and all that sprung off from them. So Sabine is of House Vizsla Clan Wren is how they announced it when she won the Darksaber.
I got a question, seeing as I have not watched the show.
Okay.
What's the big deal with the Darksaber? Like, if I shoot a Death Star blast at you, you're still dead, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. They never said if Beskar can.
They've never used an axial super laser against the lightsaber.
So we don't know. I mean,
we don't know.
You might be dead.
You might be dead, but again, because it's the Force and whatnot, if you had an ample amount of the Force with any lightsaber, really, you could possibly deflect the blast. I'm guessing.
I don't know.
I'm guessing.
I have a prediction. I know how the show's going to end. He's going to walk into the desert. He's going to announce that his name is Din Skywalker, and he's going to bury that into the sand. That's going to be the end of the show.
Well,
I don't think that's worth.
I mean, if Baron's right, I'm gonna probably have a massive fit of nerd rage.
I mean, if Baron calls that, then we're gonna have to send a hunt for Baron.
I mean, wait, are we gonna do it legal
instead
through the Bounty Hunters Guild, or are we
instead
gonna
of
go
hunt
through...
for the Red October, the hunt for Baron SBG?
Huh. I'll have to change my appearance.
Yeah,
Night
you'll
Strike. Answer 1 ping only.
Ping.
Such a great movie.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. You need to get the Marco Ramius outfit with Baron's face on top of it with the mustache. It'd be great.
Hey, I don't have that level of Photoshop skills.
No, Baron
I don't know.
does. Obviously,
Oh,
Baron
okay.
does.
Yeah, because he's looking a little, scaly there. I think he
Well,
needs some moisturizer.
He does need moisturizer. It's true. You should
But
see him when he turns the camera on. He really needs moisturizer then.
Are you kidding me? It was
And
18
maybe a
degrees
little
here in Ohio this morning.
and maybe a little beard conditioner. But that's just my opinion.
The place I go to up in Ashtabula County to shoot, is got about 16 inches of snow right now.
Something to look forward to, huh?
Nothing like, Buffalo, New York, which has 66 inches.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Ice Planet Hoth, ladies and gentlemen.
66 inches.
Yeah, Buffalo,
Damn.
New York has 66 inches of snow, and today the Cleveland Browns were supposed to play off against the Bills, and the NFL's like, no, we're going to reschedule it and move the game somewhere warmer. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, 12 years ago to today, the Browns and the Bills faced off in what was called the Snow Bowl.
It's not 66 inches, it's 6 feet.
Well, you know how the Weather Service likes to report everything in inches.
Yeah, 65 inches.
What is it in centimeters?
I don't care.
Look. We use freedom fractions here.
Oh, I mean, Buffalo's so close to Canada. They must report both.
Almost 183 centimeters. Technically 182 and some change.
Wow, that's a lot of shit stacked up.
It's a lot of white snow. It's a lot of ice.
But the fun thing is if you've watched the trailer for season 3 of Mando, it looks like a lot of the surviving Mandalorian clans are declaring Din the new Mandalore.
Well, there's season 3, but I argue that this is like season 4 because technically season 3 was the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, and before anybody comments out there that Boba is not a Mandalorian, he is, because remember he showed Din his chain code, and it shows that Jango was made a Mandalorian during the Mandalorian Civil War.
During the Civil War, yes, Jango was made a Mandalorian, given the name Fett. So.
I mean,
what'd you guys think of that show?
I liked the Book of Boba Fett. And was it a great show? No. Was it entertaining? Yes. And I also like the factor that it's like, oh, he got a Rancor. I bet he's going to be like the Night Sisters, and he wants to ride the Rancor. And sure enough, he
rides the Rancor.
Sure enough, he has him teach the Rancor to use a saddle to ride the Rancor, and I'm like, that's how you do it.
I liked it just because it expanded on Boba's his character history. That, and it also got to show us a new side of the Tusken Raiders we've never seen before.
If you remember what those on what was it? It wasn't Geonosis. It was the planet where they cloned all the clones. Kamino. You listen to the Kaminoans. They said in episode 2, Attack of the Clones, that Jango Fett wanted money for his DNA to make clone soldiers, and then he wanted
one pure genetic clone,
pure genetic replication that he could raise himself, and that basically meant that he wasn't in a relationship enough to have a child, so he figured just cloning himself and with different variables and just raising one himself would be the next best thing to have a son. And that's what he did.
What was one of the variables? A slower metabolism?
Basically, the variables for Boba was the factor that he wasn't given accelerated learning, and
I'm just making fun of the fact he was fat in the show.
And
I mean,
also the fact
older.
that he wasn't he wasn't given accelerated aging. He was basically, they cloned him naturally to be age
natural human. Yeah.
Nor
did they enhance.
You're joking about him being fat, but you also have to realize in this that the actor has aged a bit since the Clone Wars.
He bulked up on that Tusken Raider diet.
Yeah. Apparently he got thick on that Tusken Raider diet, I tell you.
There's all those black melons.
Yep.
Was
That
it
could be
was.
taken wrong. I should not have said that.
You shouldn't have. No. No. You shouldn't
Good
have.
good thing Matt's not here. Whew.
Oh boy. So.
Yeah. That could have gotten bad if Matt
Said
was
that
here.
she did. Yes.
Good soldiers follow orders. Oh, and aren't we sometime this upcoming year also going to be getting the second season of Bad Batch?
I don't know. I heard they canceled Bad Batch.
I don't know, but that does look interesting only because it looks like
I didn't like it so much. I thought it was kind of boring.
it did have that meh factor, but that's because I can't look at the what's his name, Hunter, and not see Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, right.
I'm just like, Jesus.
Oh, the Rambo ripoff.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know Django had a Rambo clone.
Well,
I-
see, if I remember right, wasn't Clone Force 99 supposed to be like they took different clone
They
DNA
enhanced
and
different areas of the DNA to create a mutation.
yeah, so
And each of Clone Force 99 had a different mutation from the original DNA because they've been
Yeah.
enhanced.
but was it a
And
great
and eventually, if you didn't watch Bad Batch, you would see that Tarkin looked poorly on the clones. He didn't like clones, and two, because technically, aside from Vader, Tarkin was literally the second in command of the Empire as a whole, and decided, you know what, we don't need the clones anymore. We can do standard conscription for stormtroopers and be done with it, and save ourselves thousands of credits by doing so. So we're just going to shutter the entire clone army and development because we don't need them anymore,
more or less?
and we'll
But then
phase them into
again-
into normal stormtroopers, and any that die off, they die off, and then they go away. What I have a problem is they got rid of or forcefully retired a lot of those clone troopers, so you'd see some of them on the streets here and there, and as shown in Obi-Wan. And I was really surprised that clone that was said that the Becker clone that Obi-Wan saw on Corellia. I think that was Corellia. I'm not sure which planet that was. That clone he saw on that planet, I'm surprised that clone didn't recognize him. One, because
surprisingly,
because every I'm sorry, but every clone trooper knew who General Kenobi was.
and did you have not noticed the markings on it? What he had of his armor?
It was 501st, wasn't it?
Yeah, you would
Yeah.
really think Vader would let his clone troopers go? No.
Without knowing who Kenobi was. Plus, at that point, the clone troopers who betrayed the Jedi generals would have had remorse because they followed them for that long, and they're like, "What the hell did we do? Why did we do that?" Because a lot of them after that pulled their inhibitor chips out
Mhm.
after Order 66.
I can explain all the continuity errors in all of the Star Wars everything.
Oh God, I'm.
Do you know
afraid
the
to
secret?
ask. I'm afraid to ask.
If you were
Wait,
9
wait,
years
wait.
old, you wouldn't notice these things.
Yeah, that's
And that's
true.
the target audience.
Hold on. I got to do my best Biden impression. Come on, man. So
I seriously think they're not making this stuff for adults.
Well, I mean, that's why they've been doing a lot of the animated stuff. That's
Yeah.
They're trying to gear that towards the kids, and then the live action stuff towards
towards the adults,
us adults. But
That's
it
where all the
seems
money
like-
is.
I don't mind.
Yeah. But it seems like they put way more into the animated stuff than they do the live action stuff, which kind of sucks when you think about it. So, Night Strike,
Mm-hmm.
you think we should play the guessing game now?
Ooh, what's the guessing game?
So, basically, today, we're going to each take a guess of what our job in the Star Wars universe would be and see if we get it right to what each of us on the panel really believes what we would be doing in the Star Wars universe. Like down from our job, our if we have a rank, our rank, weapons, and or ship. Because, why not have a little fun with this and have a great little debate?
Well, I will try to follow. I got no idea how to do this.
Well, for example, like say if we had Matt here,
Mhm.
never enough ammo. I would say his job would be smuggler with a Millennium Falcon type ship, and he'd definitely have a DL-44.
Okay.
And he would have to confirm or deny it, and if everyone guesses it right, then we know.
It can be one of several things, but yeah.
Yeah. Or
So.
say if we don't get anywhere in the near guess of what, each of us feel like what we would be doing in the Star Wars universe, we would explain why, you might have chose this, but in reality, I would feel, or Night Strike would feel, we would be doing this. Because I always say this, Night Strike would definitely be a Sith Lord, so that way every time anybody said he wears a blue dress, he could just unlimited force lightning them to death.
Or force choke.
That too.
Okay, I guess I get the idea. I'll go first.
All right.
So, do you have to guess me, or do I go? How's this
No,
work?
no. So like say if you go first, you would pick me or Night Strike, and you would make a guess, and then whoever you pick would pick someone to guess
Okay,
until we
so
each
I'll
have a
go.
guess about who has what.
I will pick Night Strike.
Uh-oh.
So, do I
Okay.
say my guess, or I keep it?
Go ahead and say your guess.
Go ahead and say your guess.
He's gonna be the bartender at the cantina, saying no droids allowed.
Okay, I'll accept that one.
And then he'll yell, "No blasters! No blasters!" Somebody's getting their arm cut off.
I'll accept that one. That was pretty good.
But I
All right.
wonder, would he have a little blaster hidden under the bar for when people got unruly?
Oh no, I wouldn't have a blaster.
No.
No, I'd
No?
have a Trandoshan energy slug thrower.
Yeah.
You know the
yeah,
Trandoshan shotguns?
yeah.
the energy
from Republic
shotguns?
Commando.
Yeah, I'd use those. That would
Alright.
definitely be under the counter.
All right,
Just-
I'm gonna make a guess on Baron.
Here we go.
All right.
You would definitely be a smuggler. I feel like you would definitely have maybe a CR-90 Corvette or a Fondor Hallcraft, because those things are amazing. Thank you, Andor. And you would be armed with dual-wielded blaster pistols. I don't know what type, but I'd feel like you would definitely have dual-wielding blaster pistols.
Empire Strikes Back, DL-44 that Luke carried.
Ooh.
2 of those.
Ooh.
Mm.
I could see that. I could see that.
Hmm.
So that leaves a Night Strike to make a guess.
Okay. I'm gonna go with firefighter.
Uh-oh.
All right. Firefighter. I see you as an Imperial Army general like Veers in a command AT-AT directing a fleet of AT-ATs on a planet.
I mean, damn, Night Strike. I mean, whew. I mean, I could make everybody crunchies then.
You see?
Shout out to all the tankers out there who might view this episode later. I mean,
Who was the guy that was Luke's backseater in the snowspeeder? The guy crushed. What was that guy's name?
I don't know.
I want to say his name was Jax or Dax something.
Dax sounds right.
Yeah, I think it was Dak or something. Oh, geez, where's Wikipedia when I need him?
Dak Ralter.
Figures, Night Strike beats me to it.
No, technically Wikipedia beat you.
Well, yeah. Cause see, now I'm kind of curious of what Baron would have to say his guess for me would be.
I don't know you as well as I know Night Strike, so.
Oh, hey,
Be difficult.
you could just wing it.
Wing it.
Yeah.
You're the guy in the Moon of Andor that opens the bunker for Han Solo when they trick him.
That is an immediate death sentence.
And the Ewoks get you.
Yeah. But I'm gonna expound upon Baron being a smuggler. I would say he'd have a YT-2100, one, and two, he wouldn't have a Wookiee as his co-pilot. He'd have an
Hell
Ewok.
no, they stink.
Yeah, he'd have an Ewok as his co-pilot because he's already got a furry co-pilot anyways on the overnight.
Yep.
Fair enough.
And Foss is about the same size as an Ewok, so it translates well.
Well,
You
I don't
put the
know how
Ewok in a
tall-
backpack facing backwards and then cover your back.
I'm not gonna tell this. Well, I gotta tell Baron now. You do know you can unlock on the Old Republic a Ewok as a companion.
Yes, you can in the game Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Never played it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically it's what replaced Star Wars Galaxies. You remember Galaxies?
Never played that either.
Okay, Galaxies was an MMO, really good MMO. It's like you could do a lot of things in Galaxies. The Old Republic was its replacement. They tried to make it a bit more like WoW. It wasn't as great as Galaxies, but it was. They were trying to gear the market to take away subscribers from WoW.
See,
to
the
play
problem
Star
is
Wars.
I loathe online games.
But you'll play Empire at War.
I usually
that's
don't
more
play it
of an
online.
RTS.
Okay.
though.
Well, I like playing online games because I like interacting with other people, meeting new people, cursing other people out. I like that kind of thing.
Mhm.
So otherwise I wouldn't be doing chats.
Now let's
Touche.
see. I gotta make a guess for Night Strike. I am gonna say Night Strike's dream job in the Star Wars universe is gonna be Crime Lord. Ella Tiberzon style.
Ooh.
Yes. Yes.
I'm not really a big crime fan, but he did succeed in capturing a prototype Eclipse Super Star Destroyer.
And his flagship was a Mandalorian designed Star
Battleship.
Destroyer.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
was really nice.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah. You're gonna make
I
me
would
want
love to
play-
see the
play
percentage of your two brains that is devoted to Star Wars knowledge, because this is impressive.
Well, see,
The rabbit
Night-
hole goes deep.
Yeah. Now, my knowledge of Star Wars and Star Trek are roughly the same level. Which is why I will never, ever, ever, unless if I somehow have become intoxicated, ever let us go into a Star Trek chat.
Favorite Star Trek character?
Oh, that's a rabbit hole you don't want to open, Baron. But it's going to be Admiral Picard.
Riker.
Benjamin
choice.
Sisko.
Another good choice. All right.
Cisco because he punched Q and gave him a bloody nose, whereas nobody else did that in the Star Trek universe.
No, nobody.
He's like,
has.
you hit me. Picard would never hit me. I'm not Picard. No, you're easier to provoke.
Now we're gonna reveal what we personally think our true Star Wars job is, and of course, Baron, I'm gonna let you go first.
I would be the bartender in the cantina saying no droids allowed.
Really? I thought
Yeah.
you'd say you'd be the captain of a garbage scout.
No.
Or at
Because
least
you like
maybe a
taking out the
spice
trash.
smuggler.
Giggity.
I like drinking and I like dry weather. So Tatooine it is.
Wait. Would your cantina be a rundown hovel, or would it be like a nice fancy cantina?
Oh, it'd be
no.
piece of crap.
It would be the Star Wars cantina. Music and blasters and old Jedi Masters.
Mm-hmm. See,
But
you get a valuable cantina and they'll just mess it up. I want
That
something
is
that's
fair.
already dinged up and I don't have to care about it.
So he likes the one at that one town out of the way on Mos Eisley, that one bar.
Oh,
So
that'd be perfect.
He wants the little hole in the wall kind of cantina
Yep.
Yeah.
where
I'll spit
everybody
shine
knows
the
your
bottles.
name.
Yeah.
I mean, keep your head low. But you'd have to worry about rebels or whatever trying to use your cantina for, clandestine operations or whatever. And spice dealers. But hey, at least it's an honest job.
Yep.
Now-
What about you? What about you, firefighter?
Oh, Night Strike, you came the closest, but it wouldn't be Imperial Army.
Imperial Navy.
No, I'd be an ISB officer.
Yeah,
'Cause-
you'd be that one ISB officer that decided to hole themselves up in that Super Star Destroyer that was under the ground on Coruscant.
No, see, I'm not that stupid. I'd be the one that would be out on the streets, gathering the intel.
No. See, the thing is, nobody knew there was a Super Star Destroyer underneath the capital city.
Which was also serving as a secret prison. So yeah,
and
I can see.
a secret base. Nobody knew that was there until the rogue ISB decided to take it and run.
Yeah. But think about it. You basically are the combination of the FBI, CIA, FSB, everything.
And I'm talking about the Lusankia.
Yes. Which I don't know why it has a Russian-sounding name in a galaxy far, far away. But it works.
Yep. It was the sister ship to the Executor.
So, now it's Night Strike's big reveal.
All right. Yeah, sure. If I had to be in the Star Wars universe, I would want to be a Grand Admiral in charge of a couple Imperial superweapons.
You know exactly how many super weapons there were?
Oh, yes, I do. I know.
What, like 5?
Like 500
Ish.
Putting it mildly. Yeah. There's the there's the Eclipse Supercross Star Destroyers, where there's 2 of those. Probably more, we don't know. There's also the which are the smaller ones?
There was the Eclipse, then there was the Executor, there was the Arrestor, there was the Allegiant, there was the Sovereign, which I think had a
Sovereigns.
mini...
The Sovereigns
mini
were the next
super
one. The
laser in
Sovereign
there.
Super Star Destroyers, they were a smaller variant of the Eclipse, which couldn't destroy a planet, but it could destroy a city. It could literally wipe a city off the map. Completely vaporize it.
Whereas I think the Eclipse
Then there
is
was
super
then,
laser.
then there was the Sun Crusher, the size a ship the size of a starfighter that could fire proton torpedoes that would collapse a star and destroy an entire system. Then there was the Galaxy Gun, which could do the same thing, but remotely, because it would literally send a proton torpedo through hyperspace. That's fun at its target. Then there's however many world devastators the Empire used on their enemies to basically take all the raw resources, turn them into TIE droids, and attack their enemies. I mean, just to name a couple. The old favorites. I mean, then there's the the Republic era stuff that Palpatine didn't actually end up using in the Clone Wars, like the Eye of Palpatine, which he only had one, but obviously if he was human, so he would probably have had another one lying around somewhere, where basically they took a giant pre-Clone Wars dreadnought, like not the dreadnoughts you see normally in Star Wars, but one of the bigger ones, the older ones, and they encased the entire thing in an asteroid base and gave it more guns.
Wait, are we talking about those big cylinder-looking ones?
Yes, it was a big cylinder one. Yes, it was the cylinder dreadnoughts.
Oh.
And they encased it in an asteroid, built it out, literally turned it into a giant gun platform. Just look up Eye of Palpatine.
And not to mention, under the old canon, he built all this because of a certain extra-galactic threat.
Yeah, basically, before Disney retconned a lot of some of that stuff, Palpatine's response for building all these super weapons was primarily to basically scare his enemies into submitting. One, two, to protect the empire that he has basically instituted, and three, because he heard from Thrawn the enemies that were out in the unknown regions that eventually came into the actual known space and started attacking the New Republic and wiping the floor with them, because the Empire was gone at that point. And the enemies we're talking about are the Yuuzhan Vong. Disney retconned a lot of stuff once they took over, but these were the endgame aliens that came from outside of the Star Wars galaxy to invade. Because they lost their home planet, which originally the planet was sentient and it had the Force, and it decided that their culture had become the planet had decided, because the Yuuzhan Vong's culture had become so perverse, so twisted, because a lot of them had turned to the dark side, that it would basically strip their entire race of the Force. And it did.
I have a tangential point.
Go for it.
The Eye of Palpatine, that's what it's called?
Yeah.
So, Sith Lords have yellow eyes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why did Dooku not have yellow eyes?
Because Dooku was a Sith Lord in name only. He didn't. While he could use Force lightning, because remember, Dooku was a Jedi Master that had turned to the dark side. Okay, technically he was a Dark Jedi Master. He wasn't really a Sith. He had just taken on the name of the Sith, but he didn't really. If you watch, Dooku didn't really have the prowess or the sinisterness of a Sith. And if you want good examples, I mean, watch, go look at some of the comics about the old Republic. Like go look up Knights of the Old Republic. You'll see
Great
how
comic
sinister,
series.
how sinister the Sith of old actually were, and how Palpatine plays on that quite a lot. But he follows the rule of two instituted by Darth Bane, which I don't believe was a good idea, because you had thousands, quite possibly millions of Jedi, and just 2 Sith versus millions of Jedi? No. That's why he instituted the whole, because he couldn't recruit any more Sith because of the rule of 2. That's why he had to go and use the clone army to take out Jedi. But Dooku didn't have yellow eyes. Technically, they aren't yellow. Technically, when you completely fall to the dark side, you go 100% evil. The eyes go from yellow to orange to red. When your eyes become 100% red, the color becomes red instead of, yellow or orange, you've gone 100%. Because the eye color changes depending on how far down the rabbit hole of the dark side you go.
And we've never seen that in the movies, right?
No, you saw that in the movies. You saw that Vader, his eyes went from, when he turned to the dark side and became Vader. Okay, when Anakin became Vader, you could see that his eyes were like yellowish, orangish. Okay, like a light orange, mostly a yellow.
Well, like Maul.
Like Maul, yes. And you can also see that with, if you watched Rebels, and there's just one point in Rebels where Ahsoka Tano fights Vader because because everybody's been led to believe that Darth Vader killed killed General Skywalker at the end of the Clone Wars. Okay. She did not know that Vader was Anakin. And when she cut the helmet and with her lightsaber, one of her lightsabers, and opened up the helmet, you saw that yellow eyes from Vader. Let me see if I can bring up a picture so I can show you, all right?
Yeah, his eyes were mostly yellow, but they were ringed by like either orangish or red.
Yeah, they were more orange than yellow. Here, let's see if I can, because when you turn to the dark side, your eyes become yellow and then orange, and if you go completely over to the dark side, it can be anywhere from the range of yellow to orange to red, depending on how far gone you are.
Speaking of which, Baron, if you do watch Rebels, that is the single best lightsaber battle in all of Rebels is when Ahsoka and Vader fight.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, here, let's screen share real quick. All right, this is from Star Wars Rebels, so it's somewhere right before the Rebel Alliance took form. There was just different Rebel cells fighting independently. Ahsoka Tano had just cut his helmet off partially. And you can see his eye right there. It's more orangish than it is yellow because Vader's gone from being, inducted Sith to being, he's been a Darth Vader for a while.
And been doing a lot of evil shit.
Mm-hmm. Let me see if I can pull up a picture of Anakin Skywalker in episode 3.
And no, Cowgirl Candace, it's not Cybertron. Different franchise. Which, if I heard right, we're supposed to be getting another movie for that franchise soon. Don't know how true it is.
Continuation, or they rebooting?
From what I hear, it's supposed to be still in the Michael Bay verse, but come on, let's let the Michael Bay Transformers universe die and go with more.
Here's what Anakin Skywalker's eye color looked like as he just turned to the dark side. You see how it's more of a yellow hue than it is a orange hue?
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens when you just turn to the dark side. You got more yellow eye color right there. Whereas if you've been the Sith Lord for a while, it's more orange here. and it gets darker and dark. It will eventually, depending on how far to the right you go, or how far to the left you go. Okay, I'm not going to say left or right. Depending on how evil you become,
How about up? Authoritarian.
it goes from yellow to orange to red, as far as being a Sith Lord. And if you've gone red, you are 100% evil. There is no coming back.
I.e. Darth Nihilus, who had like legit glowing red eyes.
Yeah. And even Palpatine, even he had orange eyes. He didn't. He had yellow and orange eyes mostly, and that was because he walked the line too. Was he evil? Oh yeah, he's fucking evil. But again, there you go.
If Samuel L. Jackson becomes a Sith Lord, can he ask for purple eyes?
No, he can keep the purple lightsaber though. It didn't really matter.
Yeah, because if I remember right, purple came from people who were using both light and dark side in balance. I think. Don't quote me on that.
So is he alive in canon? Or is it just theory?
Who?
Because nobody dies from a fall in these movies.
Yeah, it's a theory right now. It's a
And nor
theory
have
that
they
he
confirmed.
alive. He might have died. We don't know.
Like getting your hand cut off and falling down something has never killed anyone.
Not to mention electrocuted.
Yeah.
I mean, geez.
The next movie will just say, somehow he has come back. That'll be the opening crawl.
Or as he's falling down from, Palpatine's big office window, he landed in somebody's, open-topped speeder car.
I'm going to say he fell into a trash can. Because as we've seen in every movie ever, if you fall off of a high building, you fall into a trash can and survive. The trash, cushions your fall.
But do you really want to fall into a trash can? Think about it, man. Think
You don't
about
want
it.
to. You don't want to, but if it makes you live, you'll do it.
Yeah, but what if you fall onto a giant pile of, like, nasty baby diapers or something?
Yeah.
That'd be a soft fall.
But horrible.
Better than like a recycle bin.
Fair point. Fair point.
Fall in a bunch of scrap metal, and or baby diapers. I'm picking the baby diapers.
Or what if it's a giant compost pile?
Even better.
I'll take it.
You'll have a food source while you lay there paralyzed, waiting for a medic.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. Have we ever really seen anybody truly be paralyzed in the Star Wars universe?
Does it
Star Trek,
count if you
yes.
get your legs cut off?
No, because they just give you robotic ones.
We ever seen like a head in a jar? That'd be cool.
Disturbing, but oof.
Count Dooku comes back as just a floating head in a jar in a robot. General Grievous 2.0.
I mean,
Yeah, can't
Well-
use the Force to move your paralyzed body like a puppet.
I don't know.
That'd be
They've never
creepy.
they've never said anything like that.
So, all right. How much further down the rabbit hole do you want to go?
Oh, no. I don't think we should go down the rabbit hole much farther.
I think we're done.
Yeah. Let's put the fork in it and call it well done.
I think we might have overcooked it.
Which is where we have to tell you firmly but politely we must leave.
Yeah.